month of June, has it changed your mind a bit on the trade deadline? Obviously, we don't think they're going to be buyers now, but how much has this rough month changed your mind heading into the trade deadline? And is there any players that maybe you weren't too keen on the Tigers trading? As your mind changed at all with them struggling the way that they have, falling back into fourth place?
Well, certainly for me, I've been on board. They should sell whatever they can if they can find young players they feel can help them in the next 12 to 36 months. That's the way they should go. Um, to me, if McKinstry can get hot again, I would look to move him. I don't know what you can get for a guy like that, but for instance, someone said the Astros were looking for a left-handed utility man. Okay, that would be McKinstry. That would be a pretty good bet. I would definitely look to move the relievers if they start pitching well again. Foley, Shreve, Lang, no problem. You don't need to hang on to those bullpen pieces if you can find future pieces. The big thing, of course, is Eduardo Rodriguez. I was listening to John Heyman this morning saying he still thinks the Tigers could get a haul for Eduardo Rodriguez. That seems questionable to me right now. I mean, he's damaged goods until he proves he's not, right? If he comes back before the deadline and can get, 12 to 15, 18 good innings in and look like the guy pre-injury, maybe they can still get that. But I was kind of hoping they could even deal him before the deadline and sell the fact that, hey, we'll give you an extra 3 weeks with him if you pay more for it. So I still don't know what they'll get for Eduardo Rodriguez. Hopefully he comes back and looks good and they can at least get one, really solid looking bat for him. That would be a win.
Pretty adamant about the Tigers shouldn't trade the relievers because based off the fact they have so much team control over them. That being said, I would, if the Tigers are way out of contention, let's say they're heading towards the Kansas City Royals, in theory, if, again, it has to be an offer that would have to blow me away. That's what I would have to do in order to trade those guys, because I look at who they have in their bullpen right now. I mean, there's a couple guys right now in Erie, and they're interesting. I mean, Blake Holt, Chris and I have been talking about him. He's been looking really good. Some of the spin rates out there are insane, but it's not a guarantee. I mean, Brendan White, he got called up. We saw that. He made his major league debut, and they've gotten quite a bit out of him considering where he was drafted at right now.
He looked pretty good.
Tigers, the Tigers can develop pitching, but I just think that if you're going to make trades, it has to make sense to get upgrades versus just to trade.
Who's that second baseman who's blocked in the Dodgers system?
Michael Busch.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's say he was put out there by the Dodgers for bullpen help. I mean, if you had to put Lang and Foley in a deal for somebody like that, I think you do it. I mean, that's the kind of guy I hope they're shooting for. But I think the big thing coming up here next month is who's selling. Almost every contender is going to need bullpen help. Everybody needs pitching. Most of them are going to think they need a bat somewhere. But who's going to sell? I mean, right now, the Royals, obviously the A's would sell anything that's not bolted down. There's just not a lot of teams that say, oh, yeah, you can count on them to move parts. Like there was a good discussion earlier today about the Cardinals being in last place and being as disappointing as any team in baseball. But the facts are they never sell, ever. And a couple of years ago, they looked like they probably should, and they didn't. They went out and got John Lester instead and made the playoffs. So it's really interesting how many sellers there end up being. There might be so few sellers that a team like the Tigers needs to really take stock and say, hey, yeah, I mean, this is a situation where no one else is putting talent out there. We need to do it.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. We had a comment from old BK who said the possum from Oakland, they could sell that. But I saw a comment from Jacob said the Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox, that would be interesting. I don't know if they would trade like Verdugo. I don't think they would look to trade Devers. The Cubs, I think the Cubs are a really interesting seller. I think they have a lot of talent, like Marcus Stroman, Cody Bellinger will be a free agent. But
Yeah,
that's
'cause,
a good
they're
point.
not bringing back Stroman either, too, from my understanding.
Yeah, so Drew Smiley would be a good option at the back end of a rotation. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's a seller's market, and you hope the Tigers can get these guys back healthy in time to sell at the deadline.